Welcome to Whispers and Choco. This is how we do, and if you don't know, now you do. I'm Shawnee Whispers.
And I'm Mike Choco.
Together we are Mike and Sean in purebred loco. Oh no, we fucked that up. Okay.
Yeah.
And we might go loco.
And we might go loco.
And just in case you wonder what went wrong. Or just in case you wonder what took long. We'll say that we're sorry, and this show is going.
This show is going
Straight to hell.
straight to hell.
I like that one, yes. Bing bang.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Applause is everything. I appreciate it.
Bing bang. Welcome.
Yay! It's
the Mike
another
and Sean
day
show.
in the Mike and Sean show. Today we won't kill each other. Yay!
Maybe.
Well, after the show. I just want to get through the show, and then after we publish it, then I'll try to kill you.
I love that we still call it a show. So anyway,
It's a show. It's
a lot of stuff going on in New York.
UFOs,
Alien sightings.
and not
Knicks are making trades.
Yeah.
Giants are firing coaches. Lot of shit going on, baby.
And for the first time in a long time, it's not my Jets that are a shit show.
I know. You know, isn't that wild? That if you think of the top 3 embarrassing shit shows going on right now, and
It's
the
not-
Jets,
it's
the
not
Jets
green and
aren't
white.
one. The
It's
Jets
not-
aren't one of them.
Nope.
One of them. Yeah, that's
I'm very happy at that.
as am I that my Giants fired Joe Judge.
You know what? He's a special teams coach, and I don't think it's a weird thing, but I don't think special teams coaches do good in the NFL as a head coach.
Well, he had no bit. There was. I feel like there was a lot of faith put into a guy who had no whatsoever.
All the Belichick
no
people.
repertoire.
Look at all the Belichick people. They give him a shot. They do good. Then
And
they
it doesn't
fail.
work.
And then they fire them all.
Yeah.
Like I know everybody does the whole Brady or Belichick thing, but every time he loses coaches, he finds new people to instill his system, and it's successful. Now they may not be successful.
Well,
on their
because
own,
they're listening to him and it's his system. But when they go
but
out
he
and
finds the
try
right people to teach it.
right. And listen, they go out. For them to listen, they go out. They try it themselves.
Did you tell me to listen?
Yeah, I'm not telling you to listen. They go out and they try it themselves with their own crew, their own staff, and it just doesn't quite work. It hasn't yet. There's been a lot of examples of it having working, but Joe Judge is just the latest of a lot of right. Look, he'll probably get hired again, not by anybody outside. It's going to be like.
Do you think it's like offense or back to special teams?
No, he probably goes back to Belichick, I think.
I mean, which is possible because that guy will always bring you back in.
Yeah,
but
or
it's a
Nick
different-
Saban.
Make college? I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. If
You got mud in your face and you're making $15 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever. No, I think it was 15 for 2.
But
right?
look, as
Or
long
it was
as
5 for. I'm sorry, $5 million a year, and he's making $5 million to not coach.
but it's not guaranteed though, right?
No, it was the first 2. It was 2
Well,
years guaranteed.
did you look at the guy in Houston that they hired? Right, they gave him a 2-year deal. 1 year was guaranteed,
And they fired him. In
and
one
they
year.
everybody's there was
That's
some
pathetic.
Yeah, there was some like.
There was something
insider-
else going on.
There was some insiders that were like, "There's no way he makes it out of 1 year." They just hired him just to get it out of the way, like just to have him work 1 year.
Because he was black, right?
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
it was for the.
I 100% I think so. The way after you hear people saying it, they're like the insiders always tell you after, hey,
racist hiring.
yeah.
I don't listen. I wouldn't dispute anything, especially down there in Texas.
Everything's racist in Texas.
Shit, those people down there. I mean, not all of them. God bless them.
Yeah,
But you got some hateful people down there, man.
you know what? It's in a system, right? They like their system. They like how it works, and they like their gene pools in certain areas to be that. They don't deviate from
Trust
the
me,
plan.
they're not the only ones.
I know that, but
you're right.
Like in Texas, it's like you can be black, you can be brown, just be over there, not here.
Actually, Texas, I think Texas recent. Well,
It's not.
it's not as crazy. Like Austin, I've been to Austin. Austin is.
Yeah?
Oh my God, with you, Austin is one of those places where we didn't want to leave.
No.
And-
No. There was something different about it, but here's the thing. Austin has been
Did
one
you
of the.
feel like that could be a racist city at all?
No, but when we drove to the shooting range, I was like, yeah.
Well, that was
and
an
that
hour.
was only 45 minutes to an hour
I was
away.
going to say an hour north.
And it was like, changes.
When he drove us on that little ranch, I was
Well,
like,
we were between two.
shit.
We went to a shooting range between two ranches, and we were like, "Oh, so this is where it."
We thought we were trespassing.
Yeah.
and it was like torrential downpour. I'm like, dude, this guy's driving on somebody's property right now. We're gonna get killed.
Yeah, no, and that
We're
was the
drunk.
address. They rented out the middle of it. No, we were hungover, and then we were
Hungover.
re-drinking.
No, we drank in a car to,
right,
like,
to
regroup.
reestablish ourselves as stupid shooters.
That was funny.
Yes, but see, that's the thing is like you go to a certain spot and you're like, wow, this is a regular city, and then you go to another spot and you're
Austin,
like, oh,
Austin is special though. Austin's different because of the artistic.
yes, but
of
Austin
it.
is like the fastest growing
So it's
city
not
in
used-
America.
I don't think it's fair to use that as an example for Texas. I mean, Texas. I think is you have just as many foreigners that live in Texas as Americans.
Yes.
because it's a border state.
But I know people that live in New York that are from Houston, right?
Right.
Indian from Houston. And I was talking to this one kid, and I was like, I had this question. I said, I could imagine it. Did they try to like do an intimidation thing? And he was like, yeah. He goes, they would get in their pickup truck. Clearly, they were drinking.
Hell yeah.
Groups of like 4 or 5, sometimes 2 cars, and they would drive around these Indian neighborhoods and just pumping the flags and riding around and just being rowdy enough. And I said, what, did you feel scared? And they were like, yeah. He
Hell
was like,
yeah.
yeah. It didn't matter how tough you felt. Didn't matter what you had, because you could own a gun also.
Of course.
But just because they were getting away
It
with
doesn't
doing
matter. They're
that.
guns. At that point, it's life threatening.
Right, but when they're driving around and their whole motive is to terrify you and be successful at it.
Right.
They're just why would they stop? So that was in Houston, as an area. And so this is where the Texans are playing. And that's the question of hiring that coach, just to hire him for 1 year, just to see what you get out of it, knowing that you aren't going to bring him back for next year.
Well, I hate to think that that's why they did it, because for one reason only. You're gonna get found out if that was your motive from doing.
How many one and done?
You're not
coaches?
gonna. It's not like you're pulling the wool over anybody's eyes.
No, but how
Because
many?
right now it's the number one topic being brought up.
Right, but how many
So-
one and done coaches do you know? Do you remember?
None. I can't remember any. can't.
Larry Brown was like 2 years, or second or third year, and he was like, I had enough of this because of Isaiah Thomas. But I can't even think of one guy
I can't think of one example in any sport
that they didn't give him a second year.
in any sport.
Yeah, that
in
didn't-
any sport.
I mean, I'd
So
have to look it
that's
up,
my
but-
point. So if they did this intentionally, then they are the most inadequate run organization in history. But I can't imagine the Texans are that stupid. Like, first of all, you fired him knowing that it was going to bring attention because of, first of all,
Oh, what are we talking about? Urban Meyer.
yeah, but Urban Meyer's not getting rehired.
No, but he was fired. Right. So we were saying one and done that were fired.
Well,
Coaches.
No, non-scandal though, Mike. That was a
Okay.
scandal.
Well, his was scandals. He lost
Urban Meyer was fired because he was like
But the players didn't even have respect for him, apparently.
No, there was a couple of things. Urban Meyer went to a strip club, and something happened there where it was like, whatever it was, it became news, and it was embarrassing for him. This is his first year coaching in Jacksonville. So he got caught leaving a wrecked, dry, like he didn't get arrested because he didn't get in his car, but it was one of those,
Well, he was at the party where the
Whatever
girl
it
was grinding up on him, too.
Yeah, but it was something. Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
I mean,
whatever.
it's-
Listen, there's my point though. You're a coach, NFL coach. Your first year in a city, you don't need that press. And then
Yeah, at least wait.
and then the team sucks and he loses his control and he kicks a player. So that scandal.
Yeah, but that kicker that got kicked.
Right.
Like, apparently, like, one of his
he's suing. He's a bitch.
Right. What you say, like, one
You're
of
a
his
bitch.
main weapons is kicking
He's a
back,
bitch.
right?
Yeah, he's a
like,
bitch.
shouldn't he just get behind him, kick the shit out of
Apparently
him,
he
and then
said-
get fired?
Apparently he said that. He was like, I'll kick the shit out of you. I'll kick you back.
And you should have.
And
Like,
he did it.
He didn't. Like,
No,
so,
instead he went to reporters and
I just want to say, Urban Meyer kicked me when he said to tell me that I wasn't really good at what I do.
So we were going through our afternoon drills. It was pretty intense. We were doing nutcrackers. Nutcrackers are very hard. Okay, they're not. It's not when you take your nuts and crack them. It's not. It's when you get up and you run at somebody as hard as you can. Okay, so we're doing nutcrackers, and all of a sudden, Urban Meyer walks by me, and he goes, "Stupid, make the tackle." And
Yeah.
he kicked me in the head.
You stupid. See what happens when you call
I love
somebody
that story.
stupid?
He said, "Stupid, make the tackle next time."
But
I love that.
but
I actually think that's hilarious.
Right, but
how many coaches have done that to players and gotten away with it?
Right, but the element that have changed in coaching was
Urban
like,
Meyer's an
hey,
idiot.
stop calling people stupid.
Listen, he's still going to...
Oh, you imagine that one, right?
He's still going to titty bars in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but that's okay.
And getting wrecked.
But
I'm not saying it's not okay, Mike. I think we all agree that going to a titty bar is okay. You know, like, listen, morally...
They're gentlemen's club.
Morally, no, it's not a gentleman's club. No, gentlemen don't go to titty bars. It's not... morally, it's unacceptable in some households.
Well, Jacksonville is it's a
but
Bible
it's not
beaten
an
path.
illegal. You're not breaking a law.
It's a very Christian place.
Whatever.
So.
He's not breaking any laws.
No.
Okay. He didn't
But
break
it's not
any.
Christian to do it.
It's not morally Christian to do. So now doing something so stupid in an area where that kind of judgment is huge. Like if you're not morally Christian, you're judged down.
And I said, and Jesus came down.
No, that part of America is really
and
kind
he
of
said,
backwards,
Mr.
man.
Meyer, I tell you now, son. No, well, that's it. But that's what there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. There's only a few coaches that it's happened to, but he's a college coach where you're allowed to kick the shit out of your kicker.
Non-scandal is what I meant, and even that minor scandal with Urban Meyer, it's a scandal. Non-scandal, no coaches get fired after 1 year. None. It just doesn't happen.
But
The worst coaches in history don't get fired.
You don't. Well, here's a case this year of two coaches for different reasons got fired after 1 year.
Well, one because he kicked his player in the head, and the other one because he's black.
And speculation is because they're like they
'Cause
hired
they hired
the black guy
because they were forced to.
Right, and they were going to make an example of it by hiring him because we were forced to, and then fire him because we want to.
It's kind of difficult to. Excuse me. You know what it is? I think because of the whole Watson issue, I think that the ownership is a complete zoo.
But the owners of the Jacksonville, that's
not Jacksonville. I'm talking about Texans.
Oh, that's right. I forgot for a second. Owners of Jacksonville, the Khan family, super wealthy.
No. I'm talking about.
They're clean their image.
The Texans ownership.
The Texans is
the whole
sloppy oil spills.
It's bad. It's a bad situation.
Son, I make my money off of your back. Literally, you die when my oil comes through. I make money off your back.
Now they're pretty much. Look at the way they're handling everything. It's just from day. Listen, what do I know about the Texans except what I read and what I listen to on sports radio? Right. That's where I get my info from. For the most part, yeah. I'm gonna sit here and act like I do research on the Houston Texans. No,
Adam Schefter is my reporter.
Okay, ESPN. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
Independently from ESPN.
Whatever it is, but that's where I get my info from everywhere else. Same people as everywhere else. And the Texans ownership is just a complete, absolute zoo. So this is my point. If you could come to that agreement that whether they keep him or not, meaning Watson, if they keep him or not, the Giants are going to be in the same pool as the Texans for a head coach.
I think the Giants are going to go for a veteran head coach. You know,
think so?
Yeah, like
who?
Somebody in a defensive coordinator that had a shot, maybe wasn't successful and looking for another shot. Somebody who's probably
not somebody accomplished.
Somebody like in their 50. I can't think of all the former head coaches that are defensive coordinators right now, but I'm sure it's going to be a defensive-minded guy, regardless of how many offensive weapons they get. If you don't shore up the defense, you have somebody more defensive-minded. It doesn't matter how good your offensive. If you can't stop them, you're going to have to score a lot.
Right.
And it doesn't look like a lot of guys. They're going to score a lot of points.
Right.
They're not going to run.
Not with that. Not with that personnel.
Right. So I think you're going to get.
Listen, they got weapons.
Yes, but they got to get a defensive-minded coach
right.
with defensive players and a scheme. Right. He's going to bring the people in with the scheme. The offense will figure it out because the defense will keep it level.
It starts with defense.
I agree with that. The defense is going to keep it level.
I agree with that mentality. I definitely agree with that mentality. I don't think you need to be an offensive. Like, first of all, that's where it comes in with a guy like Sean Payton. It's going to cost something because he's still in the contract. But his name's been thrown up.
You trade it, right?
His name's been mentioned.
You could also trade for coaches.
You know who else has been mentioned?
Who's that?
By one of the most underrated. He should be respected way more than he is. Evan Roberts from WFAN. Evan is like a really, really, really knowledgeable dude. You know who he mentioned that just makes a lot
And
of
then
sense?
after you hear it, you're like, oh, yeah.
Well, you think about it and you're like, no way. And it's
Right.
probably no way.
Who is
It's
it?
probably no way.
Who is it?
But if the more you talk about it, the more you're like, holy shit. And Joe Padota's going to hate this. Mike effing Tomlin.
It's not going to happen.
Okay, now listen to that. You know, right, the first thing I said is you're going to say it's not going to happen.
Right, but
that's what I said.
You're going to trade for him. What are you going to give
No,
up?
well, you're going to have to trade for him.
You got to give up a lot of
A
stuff.
number one pick.
More than a number one pick
Or
for
two.
For him?
Well, not second rounder.
How about you're probably going to have to give up Jones and like at minimum 2 first rounders.
Take him.
Okay, at minimum. So what else do they want? Let's just say.
I don't know, but this is what he's.
All right.
You're right, and that's exactly the first thing to say. It'd be a very expensive.
I'm just going to
ordeal.
need some DNA samples. Like, of everyone.
He's too respectable to like force his way out anywhere, but it makes sense for him to maybe think about wanting to.
Let's just say so.
Because he's been there a really long time, right?
Right.
He won a Super Bowl already, and this is the main point.
Did he win 2?
No, he went to 2, but he won 1. They only won 1.
No,
Oh no, he
they
won 2.
He won 2.
He won Santonio Holmes too.
Yeah. So here, look,
When Roethlisberger
they-
was awful, I forgot about that one.
They give up head case receivers.
Right.
Right.
No, they won 2.
And they won 2, and you go through that whole
And-
system.
but look, so
how
he-
many coaches they've had in the last 30 years.
But listen, it
Chuck
makes
Noll,
makes
Bill
my,
Cowher,
it makes my
and
case,
fucking
though.
Mike Tomlin.
It makes my case though because
Why would they want to let him go?
I'm not saying.
And
they'd
why
let-
would he
I'm
want
not
to
saying
go?
They'd want to let him go. All I'm saying, and mate, listen, this could be a complete bullshit thought process, but
It's imaginary. It's okay.
Think about why it makes sense. He's been there a very long time. And
So maybe he wants to
and
change
he's
the
still
scenery.
young. Why not?
Okay.
Because you've
A challenge.
already,
You want a challenge?
because you already accomplished. Like, how much more really can he accomplish in?
Well,
in,
with Mason Rudolph as your next quarterback, isn't that going to be?
that's my.
Isn't
point.
that going to be
So
like a
now
challenge?
The Roethlisberger era is over.
Yeah.
Move on.
Well, it's not fully over.
It's
yet.
over. It's over.
I mean, it's not-
Roethlisberger's era is over.
He's going to go to the next round.
They're
They're
not-
miracle after miracle
Dude,
after miracle. Pittsburgh's
no
going to have
way.
another miracle.
Pittsburgh's if they're lucky.
And Pittsburgh fans are going to do the same thing that Yankee
Put it
fans
this way:
are going to hold
Pittsburgh's
up their
bad,
chest.
and they're not that much better than the Giants. That's how bad Pittsburgh is.
Well, what's
that team's awful?
Isn't the
man.
record dictating of like personnel and talent and
Yeah.
coaches? So again, you know what you don't
Their
hear.
record is you know what their record is indicative? Mike Tomlin being their coach.
But look at that. Look at also the coaches that he's had around him.
Oh, you want my nuts over there?
Look,
Studio Mike's asking my nuts, guys.
yeah. All
so
of a
you know.
sudden, you were like, it went to like Guinea Boom Bats over here.
Well, that was him.
He goes,
Oh,
Studio
where my
Mike wants
nuts?
my nuts, huh?
Where my
Forget
nuts?
about it. I give you my nuts, Mikey. Don't worry
Hey
about
Jim,
it.
give me a pizza with nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah, so
Take those over there. I don't want no.
you
You
take.
said that before, and then I did it. You
But
told
also,
me.
but look at Pittsburgh.
Give me my
All
nuts.
those coaches, they very rarely leave.
Right.
I forgot the guy, the offensive.
No, you're right.
coordinator.
I think they've had 6 head coaches and they have 7 head coaches.
Well, in the last 30 years, I think
Yeah.
it's only 3.
No, in the history.
Right, but in the last 30 years,
Or 6 in the history.
Chuck Noll-
It's not many.
Cowher and Tomlin.
Tomlin's been there 12 years now, something like that.
Before him was Cowher. I think before that was Chuck Noll. If
No,
I'm
no
correct,
doubt.
it might have been someone
No,
else.
no, you're right. But that's whatever. That's the point. That's the point. So maybe because he's so young, and I honestly, he's probably the second or third best coach in football, right? That, in my opinion, Andy Reid. It's either him, Andy Reid, after Belichick, and I think that
Do you think-
Andy Reid's on the other side of that, and he ain't going nowhere because he's going to win a couple more with Mahomes.
You got McCarthy out there.
McCarthy is not. No, not my guy.
Okay.
Doug Peterson, no, not my guy.
I mean,
Doug
he's
Pe-
won. He's won on his own. He won on his own.
I don't care. I don't like the way he won. I didn't like that team. I didn't think it was very good.
How about
I
who
think they got lucky.
You know who they think? There's a lot of people have said that like is going
I
to
like
get another
Flores,
chance.
man.
Bowles.
Not Todd Bowles. Not
Yeah.
not in New York though.
Well,
He
he's
might
the-
get somewhere.
He's going to get
somewhere,
another
not
shot,
in
and
New
they
York.
said because what he's done in
The
Tampa.
Giants would never do something like that.
But also,
I like Todd. I actually thought Todd Bowles' X's and O's was like they said. That's what Joe
talent
Judge
is
was.
everything, and he didn't have.
No,
like,
he didn't
Bowles
have
didn't
it. Well,
Bowles did not have the same amount of talent that Rex Ryan
no,
had
you're
came
right.
in with it.
You're right. He had a depleted Rex Ryan team.
Yeah,
No
they were at
question.
the end of their trail, and so
No
he had
doubt.
to band-aid it
He-
together.
I actually
I'm a
like
Jets
Bowles.
fan, and I'm
I
telling you that
I
Bowles, Bowles will not look. The thing about coaching is you can't. I know it's a system now.
Because you know why you like him? Because that defense was still badass under him.
It still did its job. You can't have 4-and-out
They were
coaches.
good. They were
but
good.
that's just my opinion.
The Jets have had a good defense consistently.
The last couple of years, except even when we got rid of
I'm not-
Jamal Adams.
I'm talking about like that decade. Over
This
the decade.
defense, this defense, the second half of the season, this defense and this offense with Zach Thomas, they did really good. They simplified the play calling. He wasn't rushing. The offensive line did a better job. He needs more weapons. He needs real legit A and B weapons, not a lot of C weapons. The defense, who after they traded, they got rid of guys, like stepped up, and these guys, was it Pinnock, who was coming out of nowhere, intercepting and defending and blocking, and he was playing. He was in the God, where is he playing? I can't remember this without looking at the stats in there, but he was playing in the nickel. And so it was like now he was thrust into the starting when May got hurt. And so it was like all these guys that they were just putting and dropping in places, and they were doing the job, and they were obviously as a fan, you're like, you give me an extra game to play, hey, we're going to win that. No, we didn't win that one. Hey, there's another game, we're going to win. I'm a Jet fan, and it's the same thing as being a Met fan. It's just high hopes. And then
huge disappointments.
Huge disappointments in the end. So I've got high hopes. I do. But
high hopes.
I do this fight for the first time in a long time.
In the sky,
my Jets
apple
aren't back news.
Hopes.
My Jets aren't back news. Disgrace New York football.
No, they are still.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're just in the small column in the bottom left corner.
No, they're not even in the small column. Was it in the small column? Is the battle between the Nets and the Knicks.
That's not.
Do you know what they're not even talking about? They weren't even talking about the Rangers who are successful at it.
The Jets winning 4 games is definitely ahead of the Knicks. Stop it.
No. Not ahead of them. What I'm saying is
talking about embarrassment.
The Jets are
talking
embarrassment.
About strictly embarrassment.
Oh, geez, here we go. Vinny Boombox. Vinny Bag of Donuts showed up.
Talking about embarrassment.
What's in your bag, buddy?
No, listen. This is what I mean. If you
had, you're an embarrassment. This is what I mean.
If you had a back page,
you're an embarrassment.
If you had a back page of a newspaper, and you were ranking the articles, and the biggest embarrassment so far on the back page would be the New York Giants
for the year,
the year,
for the last 2 years,
whatever. But we're talking about the back page for 2021.
Yeah, okay.
The New York Giants.
Maybe in 2022 we could upgrade that. Huh?
The embarrassment that Joe Judge was.
Why is it an embarrassment?
Because all the tools he had and all the players he had. But guys, dude, the team, Joe Judge is arguable. How about this? Ben McAdoo was awful. Pat Shermer was worse.
Yeah.
And they're both better than Joe Judge. That's how bad Joe Judge is. I watched the man progressively.
So what do you think? His
worse.
Play calling?
Everything about what he did.
And you think they had more weapons that they should have done more?
His game clock management was embarrassing, dude. He called timeouts a few times that made Parse, whatever that guy's name is, from the Chargers, Sparse, whatever that coach's name. The guy who blew the guy who caused the Chargers to playoffs. That guy. Anyway, Joe Judge was just awful.
Who's that guy that threw the rocks at the end of the game? Yeah, that guy.
That dude. Joe Judge was really bad with his selection of how to. First of all, forget that. Preparation. Okay. He had weeks to prepare for certain situations, whether it would be the bye week, whether it would be they played on a Thursday and their next game wasn't until following Sunday and they got blown out. There were times where they looked embarrassing to the point where the penalties at the end of the game, even in season 1, he was supposed to be X's and O's. He was supposed to be disciplined, a disciplinarian. They were the most undisciplined, not prepared, worst X's and O's team the last 2 years. And they progressively got worse. And if you could find me a team that was worse than them, I'll listen. I don't think there was. I don't think there was
Not by record. But
no, just by even production and what they were doing, what their goal was. And then this guy got the balls to get on the podium and with his stupid accent and talk about how he loved the direction of where the offense was going. I like what I see. I like it. I like what these guys are doing. They're playing hard for me. I'm not going to get into it. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to talk about how I think they were good. They played hard. I mean, did they make a mistake? Did they? John, look at me. Do you make mistakes when you write articles? Yeah. So they made a mistake, John. Like, shut up, dude. Fucking coach your team. Your team sucks, bro. Yeah. And nobody ever went hard on them. You're
because I think after what is it, year 2, year 3, year 2, right?
This year 2, but
right.
Dude,
do you think? I mean, look,
you know how vocal I was about him being
right.
fired.
But here's the thing:
I think I've never seen a coach get worse. His last 3 or 4 games were some of the worst coach games I've ever seen.
Look,
in history.
Right, but
he called quarterback sneak twice on 3rd down.
But here's the thing that look, if you look at the top,
if you think about the
look at the top 10 picks, right? Like if I get what you're saying is a mistake. Like if I wouldn't have fired him. I really wouldn't have. I would just say, you have this last year to figure it out. You get year 3, I need you to figure it out. You have 2 picks in the top 10. You could trade down and end up with 4 first-rounders if you wanted to, finding another team. You got 2 top picks. So your next 6 picks are the top of each of the 1st, the 2nd, and 3rd round. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of talent to bring in.
100%.
Okay? So you start with those.
Well, the draft is everything. So it's important to get somebody in here that's going to do the right thing with
Well,
the
so now the guy who comes in next, what I'm saying is the guy who's already there, you give him a window to pick some talent. Now the guy who comes in, probably salivating a little bit, maybe he sees something that someone else doesn't see.
You mean a new GM?
Well, because whoever
who are you talking about? The coach?
Yeah, whoever comes in as a coach knows that he's going to have 2 first-rounders in the top 10. Could be anything.
Right.
But defense is really, really big in this draft.
Right. Well, the draft is from what I see and read, very deep.
Top to bottom. Okay, there's quarterbacks.
No really good quarterbacks up at the top, though.
No, not even in the first round.
No. Well,
somebody might go in. Right. A couple of them might go
mid to late first,
but
round.
They're not first rounders.
Nothing.
So
top,
that means
not top 10 picks.
Offense and defense for the top 25. Let's say 25.
15 to 20 picks. Yeah, all right. I go with
offense and defense, back and forth. Could be anybody.
A lot of linemen.
The Jets have 2 first rounders in the top 10.
Jets have 2. Giants have 2. The Jets. It's like the Jets. It's like the Jets pick, Giants pick, then Miami, then the Jets and the Giants.
I think the thing is like if I the Giants, right, and you wanted the 2
where they ended up.
2 of the shining stars, you trade that. I would trade down to make sure with the Jets that you get those 2 in front of them. Because I think one of them is they're in front of the Jets and one of the Jets is in front of them. I think so. I would trade down to make sure that you get 2 of those.
I honestly think they love the kid Davis from Georgia. I love him. If they could figure out a way to get that dude and there's an offense the kid from
Jacksonville has the number 1 pick, right?
Yeah.
Which is very rare to have 2 number 1 picks back to back.
Who's going number 1?
Lawrence is the quarterback. So you don't need a quarterback. He's the first year and you're going to give him everything.
Right.
So in the next pick, do you take Hutchinson from Michigan, who you solidify that defense? Or you grab one of those other receivers at number 1, but doesn't necessarily mean they're number 1s. It's just that you grabbed them at number 1. There's guys that are drafted in the top 5, 10 that aren't necessarily, but the team that wanted that guy more than anything.
Right.
Receivers. I was surprised. If you take between Mac Jones and say Zach Wilson, I called him Zach Thomas. Zach Wilson. Zach Thomas is a linebacker from Miami.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. But if you take like the weapons, there's receiver. I sometimes just forget the names, and it's just
the Jets
names.
got 4, Giants got 5, Jets got 8.
That's what I'm saying. So wouldn't you like?
Oh no, Giants got 5 and 6, back to back picks.
Something must have changed like in the last week or two.
Yeah. So it's Jacksonville with the number 1 overall pick. The Lions have 2. Houston's 3. The Jets are 4. Giants are 5. Giants are 6. Carolina is 7. Jets are 8. Falcons 9. The Redskins 10.
Yeah.
I mean listen, 5 and 6. Wow, that's some serious draft capital right there.
Yes, because you could trade. You could trade down. You could trade up.
All right. Well, listen. Let's use the old Google to see who are the projected 4 and 5 picks for. Because obviously I don't know.
Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Hamilton's a safety, Singletary's
I know the kid. I know
corner.
the defensive
Neal's
lineman.
the OT. You got two edge rushers, Thibodeau and Hutchinson from Michigan.
And then what about the kid from Georgia? That kid's going too. I thought he was the number 1 pick. No?
Well, no, these are projected 5 out of the top
Oh,
100.
okay. No, I thought first round pick. I'm talking about.
Yeah. These are projected top 5 picks, right? And so, Thibodeau is 6'5", 258. Jeez.
He's a monster.
Hutchinson's
a big man, dude.
Evan Neal from Alabama. He's 6'7", 350.
Yeah.
Linebacker from Utah. Center from Iowa. Purdue. Guard. NC State. All right, so projected the top 11 picks. The next one for Ohio State is the wide receiver, Chris, was it Olavi? Whatever.
Olavi.
Oh, I love it.
I love
Corner. There's a lot of
Don't you
defense.
love me
Alabama receiver
like
Jameson
I love
Williams,
you?
right? Jameson Williams.
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
Well, Jameson. Like that's like, you must love it so much. So you're like,
Oh, don't you love that name, Jameson?
Jameson.
Don't you want another Jameson on your roster?
And then the next receiver is also from Ohio State. And then after that, it's the quarterback from Ole Miss.
Yeah, so they have Aiden Hutchinson.
It's a lot of defense in the top 20, 25. A couple of quarterbacks, a couple of receivers, but mostly defense and offensive line. Yeah, pretty much. And then the next one rated is
that's incredible. They got
the USC receiver from USC. That would be the USC and a couple of quarterbacks. So whatever you have, that's more a lot of defense.
They have an offensive tackle out of Alabama. That's the guy I was talking about. I said Georgia. I meant the offensive lineman from Alabama because I heard him talking about it the other day.
Right.
He's projected to go 5. Giants got 5 and 6. So they're definitely taking this dude. He's 6'7", 360 pounds.
Right, but that's what I mean.
They were talking about him on the air the other day. When they were showing him in a huddle, his helmet is it's like, it's awesome. He's like the guy, like the dude Davis from Georgia. In the huddle, his helmet's like a half a helmet bigger than everybody else. They're the biggest guy in there. The guy's like 6'7". I love it. But yeah, so Evan Neal from Alabama, 6'7", 350 pounds. And he's one of the most, they said he's one of the most imposing specimens to ever grace this earth. He moves like a man 50 pounds lighter than his weight, and he's only 22 pressures past two years between left and right tackle. He's only allowed 22 pressures basically in 4 years, which is pretty bananas. Then they have an inside linebacker. Inside. Oh my God. They have 2 offensive linemen, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
There's the kid from Iowa, Tyler Linderbaum. Wow, look at this. The best center prospect they've seen in the PFF college. Well, it's only been 4 years, right, since the playoff?
4 years. So
okay.
I mean,
So let's not go with the PFF power fucking. Give me a break. Oh, no. Is that power football era? PFF? I'm showing my ignorance.
Power football.
All right. So anyway, it says he's the best center prospect they've seen in the era. He was already the highest graded center in the country in 2020, but he's taken his game to new heights in 21. Oh my God, he's got a 95.3 overall projected grade. So the Giants might take 2 offensive linemen in their first 2 picks. And I'm not going to be mad at it.
Right.
That's what we need. Protect the goddamn quarterback. Listen, and honestly, keep Danny Jones.
You think so?
I think so. What are you going to do? Let me ask you a question. Unless you make a stupid trade and give up the world for a guy like Russell Wilson, who I like, but nah. You're not getting Deshaun Watson.
That I like, but nah.
Nah, I don't like him. But I don't like him for my team. I like him for his team. Deshaun Watson. Yeah. I think that Mara's press conference, he already kind of said that he's not going after any kind of bad character, even though like getting a massage. What's the problem with getting a massage from a naked girl 25 times a year? What the hell is he's not breaking any laws?
That's not a
Give
problem.
me a break.
Oh,
this guy's getting chastised
if
for something.
Kraft can get it done, so can
anybody can get it done. It's not illegal. It's just stupid. But anyway, now if you think about it that way though, Mike, you're not going to get any of those big quarterbacks, right, that are available.
Right.
You're not getting them. So What are you going to do? You're not drafting one because there's none really available.
Well, the corners, you're looking at the corners. They're rated lower, but they're in the top 15 to 20. And I think it was like 3 of them that looked in there.
I'm talking about quarterback.
Oh, you don't want another quarterback.
No, this is my point.
But you might
don't have options, is what I'm saying.
I thought you said corner.
No,
but you
that
meant quarter.
Quarter because of Danny Jones.
Yeah.
We're talking about Danny Jones and keep
Daniel Jones.
You don't have.
Nobody
I call
calls
him Danny.
Nobody calls him Danny.
I call him
Nobody
Danny.
calls him Danny.
I call him
Danny's
Danny.
family doesn't even call him Danny.
I call him Danny. I don't like Daniel. Daniel sounds very feminine to me. Danny Beck. His name was Daniel. Never called him Daniel a day in my life. Danny Beck. Sanford. Shout Danny Beck. All right? Don't question me, Mike. It's Danny Jones.
Okay.
So, anyway, if you allow this kid, imagine you draft 2 behemoths, right? Next year, you get 2 behemoths that you start right away. A 6'7" right tackle.
Right.
And the best guard prospect they've seen in the PFF era. Whatever that means. PFF. I'm thinking power football something. But the power conference, I don't know what it means. Playoff football, who knows what these freaking things all mean. But if you draft 2...
Who knows what all these things mean?
It's also goddamn confusing.
Oh.
If you draft these 2 behemoths
Right.
and put them in front of Daniel Jones, you could see what he has. Because you still have control over him for a year. So you can see what the dude has.
Right.
Okay? Now, I'm just going to bring up a quarterback who's a monster right now and who his future is insanely bright, Justin Herbert, right? So we recently just watched the game with Justin Herbert, right?
Okay.
That's the game where the stupid coach called the timeout, right?
Stupid coach and his stupid timeouts,
Stupid.
huh?
What are you, stupid?
Forget about it.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
Hey, you show up, you get stupid, you get called stupid.
So anyway, he did a dumb thing and he called a timeout when he shouldn't have. And Herbert, they put his statistics up for the season. Okay. Now Herbert's obviously we could all agree that he's an unbelievable quarterback, right? When Herbert has no pressure, his quarterback rating is a 98 whatever. Like it's up there. It's very high. When Herbert has pressure, his quarterback ranking goes all the way down to like a 60-something, 61. Okay? So my point in that whole little explanation of Herbert,
the attempt at the Herbert
was
spitting.
that give Daniel Jones some protection. Let him do, because all this kid has done he's made a lot of mistakes. He's turned the ball over, don't get me wrong, and he looks like he stinks in a couple of times. But he also threw for 400 yards against a very good defense. And he ran for 100. He threw for 412 and ran for 140 or something. Had a 600-yard offensive game against Washington. He's had a 25 season a touchdown year. Like he's done things to show you. Like I could see
each year he's done something different to show that he's got more to it.
That he could do.
So
it.
you could
show it.
If you give him more to work with.
He's done all of this with no offensive line.
Well,
we could agree he's had the worst offensive line in football since he's been a quarterback. He's had probably the worst personnel team in football since he's been a quarterback. And he still showed those things. You know what I mean? So without Saquon, Saquon gets hurt his rookie year, Saquon blows his knee out. So he didn't have protection. He didn't have anything. So give the kid a year right now, even though they won't. I know they won't because it's kind of like guilty by association.
Does he have a 5-year contract and this is year 4?
Well, it's every year. Every rookie has that first 5 years. Yeah, they're in control for 5 years.
But it's an option, but I'm saying you have the 4 years, right?
They could pick the option up on a 5th year. He just finished his 4th year.
Finish his 4th year. I thought this is 4th year. This is his 4th year coming up.
No, you're right. He finished his 3rd year. He's got a 4th year.
He's got a 4th year.
Right.
So this is what I find strange is like you give a quarterback. Like this is what the problem was with the Jets, right? It's like every time a coach didn't work out, you kept the quarterback and then you fired the coach and you brought in a new coach. So some guys are getting 2 coaches, even 3 coaches if they're lucky within 5 years. Because the system is the last coach is failing, so we got rid of him your first year. Then the next coach comes in and you're supposed to figure it out for 2 or 3 years and it doesn't work. And then your last year you get a 3rd coach or your 3rd offensive coordinator. And you're just fucking with people's head. It's like, so sometimes it works. Sometimes it's fantastic. And it doesn't matter. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre or any one of those guys that were like, we're going to change, like whoever was the offensive coordinator, if they left, they got the guy who understood the same system that was just taught, and they just did it a little differently. You know, it was like Sam Darnold. Everybody was like, oh, hey, he goes to Charlotte, and they're like, see, you give him some weapons. But Christian McCaffrey was his check down. If he was my check down, I'd look pretty good. What happened when Chris McCaffrey got hurt?
Say his name again?
Darnold. What the fuck? Okay. It's Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
But anyway, but when Sam, but what happened?
His name's not Darnold.
Okay, but when McCaffrey got hurt, what happened?
Say it again.
Darnold. As long as I can bring some entertainment to this shit show.
His name's not Darnold.
Okay, but Christian McCaffrey.
Why can't you say it the right way?
Christian McCaffrey
Say his name.
is his check down.
Say it again.
You know, and limiting myself to say like, you know, go fuck yourself.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Oh, the Darnold.
Anyway, he was looking good, and everybody was praising him, saying you get away from the Jets and you go somewhere else.
And he sucks.
Right. And the minute McCaffrey's gone, it was like he didn't know what to do.
Right.
Then they brought back Cam.
Darnold never looked good with the Jets.
He did. Yes, he did. Yes,
not
he
like
did.
Daniel Jones.
No.
He never looked as good as
No.
Daniel Jones. Never. Not one time.
Right. But I'm saying he did look good. They just didn't give him any weapons. He had no weapons.
I agree with that.
Zero weapons.
But this is my
if you look at the receivers that the Jets had, well, Darnold was a quarterback.
I agree with that.
There were no weapons.
What I'm saying to you is, Darnold got a lot more backing by people saying, oh, I think he's a good quarterback in a bad situation. I'm not hearing that about Danny Jones. And Danny Jones is, to me, way better than Darnold.
Okay.
To me, it's not even close.
I mean, right now that's the way
it's
it
not
looks.
even close.
Cam Newton came back and they put him in
I
there.
just think
I
think Daniel Jones has all the tools, the physical body to do every. Can he stay healthy? That's the question. And can he protect the ball? That's it. If you protect him, 80% of his fumbles are from being blindside ambushed by some freaking, he got destroyed, dude, his first 3 years, man. So give the kid a chance with protection. And any quarterback, I don't care who you are, and I've said this since Danny Jones has been on his team, put Aaron Rodgers behind that offensive line. He's going to be on his ass the whole game. I don't care how good you are. You know why Aaron Rodgers can run and he's good? So he'll make 5 or 6 really good throws because he's Aaron Rodgers. But the rest of the time, he'll be on his back like Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? So that's my point. And you got to be able to protect somebody to see what kind of a quarterback they can be. And that's why I brought it Herbert, Herbert's protection without it. He was a 90-something quarterback with the protection and a 61% without. So the proof is in the pudding. And Herbert's a stud. We all know that. We agree with that. So now, honestly, looking at this mock draft, I'm good with taking 2 offensive linemen in the first 2 picks. Those are the only 2 offensive linemen in the whole freaking draft.
I mean, that would be rare. I think they would split
Why?
it up, a little offense, a little
Why?
defense.
We got 2 second rounders too. And the second round is supposed to be thicker than the first round. The second round is supposed to be very good with edge rushers.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, two of the top 10 picks are edge rushers. So, I mean, if one of them ends
2
up
of the
there,
top
you
10
have to.
and 4 of the top 20.
Right. If someone ends there, you have to take it.
I know there's an offensive.
Sometimes you have to go with
offensive tackle number 9 too.
Sometimes you have to go with the best talent available as opposed to the most need, because somebody that you have in the same position could all of a sudden add you another piece later.
Right.
So
there's 4 offensive linemen in the top 20 drafts.
Look, I see, as a Jets fan,
this is one mock draft.
Right, as a Jets fan, I was like, I don't even need to talk about it because I know that they're doing something right. I mean, I don't know that if Salah is still the answer, because it's only 1 year and he's young, and so I don't know. The Jets always, because the problem is the Jets always go, look, they look good, and you go, they do, you're right, they finish hard, and then the next season comes in and they start awful and they finish hard again. You go all right, maybe if they get a little, it's the same thing with Sanchez. He would get hot late, and then the playoffs would come around and we should do more, and he would play mistake-free, but it was getting there which seemed like the most difficult thing to do with him. And maybe, Carroll was right. He needed more seasoning. But to be the pinnacle of your career is those the AFC Championship games, which is very, in his first 2 years, and then the butt fumble. Like you go from the promise and the progress
That's
to the
why
butt fumble.
That's why the Jets get the second. They have to be. I'm sorry, have to be in the top 4 embarrassing stories of 2021.
2021.
Yeah, remember when we were talking about the newspaper?
Yeah, they should no,
Giants
not
are
in
number one.
2021.
The
Like
Giants are
for a
number one.
lifelong Jets fan, they could never get it together more than like 3 years in a row. You know, one of the greatest drafts ever is the '83 draft, right? There's a documentary called Elway to Marino, right? It's about the 6 quarterbacks that were taken in the first round. It's about all these amazing players all the way through. And they projected.
There was recently a insinuation by Peyton Manning that I guess it was what year was Eli drafted?
I don't remember.
08?
Maybe, let's say.
Whatever year it was. So Peyton said that year might have, like, that was probably the best football draft year since '83.
Quarterbacks. Right.
Oh yeah.
So
because that Roethlisberger, Rivers, and Eli.
So if you go to '83 and you start with Elway and all the drama that happened in Elway when it was going, and you watch the documentary, the documentary Elway to Marino is great. But here's how it is for Jet fans. You go through this draft. Pittsburgh has, they say, 2 quarterbacks that they had that seen in their lives that were ready to make an impact and change football, that were ready to be pro quarterbacks, were Elway and Marino. Marino came from blue-collar Pittsburgh, played for Pittsburgh.
04.
So you get down, they come to the draft, and now Pittsburgh has it. But they have Bradshaw, okay? So they go with the defensive lineman, okay, who eventually ends up getting paralyzed. They don't draft him. Bradshaw tears his bicep, never throws the ball ever again. In that draft, Marino keeps going down, right? The Jets come. And there's a great clip of it if you watch the documentary where a Jet fan, after the Jets pick, do you remember who they picked?
Ken O'Brien.
Now, for a D2 quarterback, Ken O'Brien was pretty good.
Right.
But no Marino.
No.
Okay?
You think?
He
was no Ken O'Brien.
Oh, he was no Ken O'Brien. Ken O'Brien had had a defense, a legit, the sack exchange.
Yeah.
Right? He had an offensive line, and he had offensive weapons. And then they draft.
Gastineau better than Strahan. Give me a fucking break with that bullshit.
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying you
but
said
we
that.
we had Gastineau,
My boy
Lyons,
Robert
Klecko,
Garcia said that.
Salam.
No, sack exchange was legit.
Legit.
Barry Lyons was legit. Joe Klecko was legit.
Klecko played every
Legit.
position in the defense.
And Gastineau was a very good player, but he was not on Strahan's level. Stop it.
But Abdul was in the corner. Anyway, on the line, we had a solid offensive line. We had weapons, okay?
That was a very good defense.
If you look at Marino, the only thing he didn't have out there was weapons. And I'm like, obviously looking back. There's a clip when
he didn't have weapons. He had Mark Duper, and he had no offensive line, and he had no other.
He had Duper and Clayton, and no offensive. No. He had no offensive line, no running back.
No running back.
His
offensive line was mediocre.
No. But listen,
he threw the ball fast.
Yes,
so he made them look good.
But he had receivers, no running game.
He had the quickest release in football history.
So when after the draft, when you get past the Ken O'Brien, there's this fan that interviewing him, and he's a Jets fan, and he's like, "What do you make of this?" And he's like, "I'm paraphrasing what he was saying, but he was like, I don't know why. Well, I don't know what's wrong. But why would they do that? Why? It doesn't make any sense." And then after that, Miami steps in. And drafts Marino and his history. And I say 100% with what the Jets had, if they draft Marino, we're talking about a couple of championships. Because the only thing that was missing.
With the sack exchange?
Yes, because the defense was there for 6 more years after
Hard
that.
to argue that.
The offensive line was there. O'Brien was protected. O'Brien had good numbers, but they just never went to the top. They got close. They were 10-1 one year and then lost 5 and lost in the wild card.
It's really hard to argue that. I can't argue that.
Because of what he did with nothing in Miami.
I try to fucking argue everything, so.
You argue air. He argues with air. Hey,
no, I don't.
You don't blow on me.
So stupid.
No.
I'll argue with you.
Yeah, well,
Stupid.
I'm air.
Is your name Air?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm air free.
Okay.
The Jets, for example, they've never put it together more than 3 years.
Right.
There's all these windows of potential success. One of the worst things was the Rich Kotite era, 1 in 15. But then Parcells came when they fixed things and the Keyshawn and all that, and Testaverde coming from getting dumped from all that.
By the way, Keyshawn's a fucking blowhard and
But
overrated, Bill.
yes,
Overrated ball
but
player. Very good.
he waited till the end of his career to give Wayne Trebet respect.
That's why I hate him.
But when you look
He
at
was
that,
a raised baiting piece of shit his whole career. Everything was about creating trouble, raised baiting. That's just what he did. It's just that you could see it in his snaky little with his little squinty eyes. He just looks like a jerk off.
but we just come, yeah, he was.
And
he
his
was.
show, but I'm saying, I listened to his show. He's on in the morning. He's awful. The guy's his take on everything is completely ridiculous. His take on everything, like people on his show are like, dude, Keyshawn, you really just say that? Like you're an idiot. Like he's just a moron. He's a moron, dude.
But that their success there, the next year, Testaverde in the first game ruptures his Achilles, right? And our backup quarterback is Ray Lucas, who had a respectable 8-8, but we were just a play away from the Super Bowl with Testaverde and all those weapons and the defense and the offensive line and Parcells. You fast forward. Again, Parcells doesn't want to be the coach anymore. He says, I'm going to go to the office. Belichick's going to be the head coach. And even in their documentary, Bill and Bill, did you see that one?
Yep.
He said, they should have given you more respect. Belichick goes, Kraft liked something about him, wanted to give him, full autonomy, gave him everything he wanted. And then again, it was the Mangini era. Every time there was something going on, there was like 2 or 3 years and then it stopped. Then they bring in Rex Ryan. It was like 2 or 3 years and then it stopped. It's like the Jets couldn't put together a 5-year package where I'm sure the players that they had would have produced success. But that's what it's been my whole life being a Jets fan. That's, as a Met fan, it's the same thing. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. As a Knicks fan and a Rangers fan, the Rangers at least have gotten to the finals and lost. They lost to the Kings. Who else did they lose to? They won in 94. They lost 2. But they've always been there. The Knicks have not. The Knicks, we had 94 and then we had 94 and what was it, 2001 with Spreewell when Ewing got hurt and we had to go with the small. We lost to San Antonio. We lost in the finals. So that's 2 times.
Kurt Thomas playing center.
Yeah, and Spreewell playing small forward at 6'5".
That was bad. Larry Johnson and Spreewell both small forwards.
But it's just the talent that was there. Anyway. It's it's weird when when you look at the other teams, like not all of them, but when it comes to baseball, like you get to look at the Yankees, and even if you don't like the fans, because they're 27 fucking champions, you have to appreciate one point, if not the most recent. The one point is up until a certain window, before Steinbrenner went back to writing checks for everything. They found a way to win. They brought the players in that wanted to win and found a way to win before he started spending money again.
Right.
When you look at the Rangers, yeah, they're there. I mean, every once in a while they get there and they have the talent. But then as a Jet fan, you look at the Giants and be like, well, they figured it out. All these people that rate like even Giant fans would be like, Eli's either great or he's mediocre or he really sucks, but he was lucky. It's like you have fucking rings, like
2 Super Bowls. That's
2 Super Bowls. I don't like you. The man brought you
championships. The guy won 2 Super Bowls. That's it. The conversation's over.
Look, when when he gets grabbed
not
and
only
he
did he
pulls
win 2
away,
Super Bowls, he beat the best team in history.
But when
and he won 2 MVPs.
Right,
I'm so tired of the discussion.
When he's getting pulled on the shirt and he's strong enough to pull away, and regardless if
make whatever kind of throw it is, it doesn't matter.
But the catch, the helmet catch, but he makes the throw. Without the throw, you don't get there.
Oh,
right?
And by the way, he's top 10 in touchdowns and top 15 in or top 10 in yards.
So
stop it.
So if you're lucky enough, right, to be Rangers, Knicks, Giants, Yankee fan, right? If you're lucky in that window,
fuck the Yankees.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying, but if you're lucky in that way, all you know is championships or getting to championships.
Yeah, the Yankees. I hate the Yankees.
But you Yankee because it's Yankee fans, not because you don't like the Yankees. The Yankee system has won it. Yeah, it's the fans that they're assholes.
I hate the logo. I hate everything about it. I hate the navy
logo.
Blue.
I hate the logo.
I don't wear navy blue because I hate the Yankees.
I once said that. I tell you this.
I don't wear pinstripes. Never.
I told you this. I tell you one story.
No, I wear pinstripes, but they have to be orange and blue.
I tell you this one funny story. Many years ago, I was at this bar in the 50s. I forgot, like 52nd Street or something. And I went in there and I was looking, just walking around. I was like, I'm going to go in there and watch the baseball game. And it was the Yankees were playing. So bouncing around. I was on a date, and that's how I ended up there. She left, jumped in the cab to go home, and I stayed there. And I'm watching the game, and it was these three like bros, like, you know, suit bros, came from like Wall Street, bro, and whatever. So I was being friendly. They
were Mikey Shea's boys.
Probably. So I was joking. I was talking with this girl, and the guy goes, bro. He goes, you don't have a shot, bro. My boy's got a shot. My boy, step back, bro. And I was like, all right, whatever. And so I've never done, this is the one and only time. I was like, I felt like, you know, it was one of those things you just question, you just challenge me.
Isn't that like when you wish you had a big foot-long cock, and you could just pull it out?
I got something better than that.
Bro!
Bro, you got this, bro?
That's the only time I wish that I had a really
I
big
pretended
penis.
to be a Yankee fan, right? I pretended to be a Yankee fan. Every time they did something good, she'd turn around, look right at me, and high-five me. I never said, go Yankees. I would go, yeah, baby, let's go. And she would go, Yankees, right? And the bros were like trying to make their way in. She moved away. She came towards me, and she was like, yo, that was a great win, right? And I was like, yeah. I said, yo, they're the best, right?
Oh,
He's like,
you're
yeah.
such a traitor, dude.
I was like, I pretended just because these guys challenged me.
You hear this Fugazi guy over here?
And I left with her. I left with her.
Oh, all right.
And I got exactly my revenge.
Listen, if you got laid, it might be a word.
100%. But I was the only reason it went into overdrive is because these bros were like, hey, bro, sit back, bro. I got this, bro. Yo, they challenged me. And I did pretend.
Bro, I've been sweating into this $800 Gucci shirt all day.
I pretended to be a Yankee fan. Not really a Yankee fan, but I pretended to be like in for them to clap. And I was like, I'm taking this.
You know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
I also pretend to be a Met fan, and it doesn't get me anything. Nobody ever said, you're a Met fan? Oh, my God. Let's go do nothing.
Let's go nothing.
You have no shot with me. No, but I mean, like I said, like if you're lucky enough to be a fan of all those prime like franchises and they win and you have this championships to talk about, you have amazing life in that way. But you don't, because that's not how it goes. You know, you don't get exactly what you want.
Well, listen, if you ain't playing,
well, right. In the last 20,
look, in the last a fantastic life. You're just a fan.
And if the last 25 years, if you lived in Boston, all your teams won repeatedly.
And look, Atlanta has two now.
Yeah, well, Atlanta has two.
Well, Georgia, I should say.
Yeah, they have two.
They won the college championship, and they're the Braves.
Yeah. I mean, so it's a little something. It's a little bit, but
we need love.
Look, 20 years ago,
New York needs we need a few championships. We need a World Series.
20 years ago.
The Mets got to win a World Series.
20 years ago.
I'm convinced.
You had between the Bruins, the Celtics, the Patriots, and who am I missing out here? Boston. They all won. They won. And the Red Sox. So within the last 25 years, all their major sports won a championship. Right? That's a good feeling. Like basketball, they hoped for them to win, but they're like, nah, football and hockey has a good chance. And baseball, well, we're always going to be in there now. Because now it's Red Sox rings. You know what I mean?
I honestly, I'm of the thought process that we've sucked for so long as a city.
You think it's over?
No.
The curse is over?
No. I think it's over. Yeah, I think that because if you look at all of the teams, like throughout all the sports.
Yeah.
All right, the Yankees, they're not where they want to be, but the Yankees are still a really good baseball team, okay? They're like always in the discussion of a World Series. So you got the Yankees. Now you have the Mets, who are players financially and who are bringing in players players financially, and then they're bringing in players that could actually play the game, and a manager who could actually manage. No more clown show. Like that clown show shit's over. And then
Showalter is legit.
You got the Rangers.
And he's only 65.
I love Showalter. I love everything about that hire.
But he's only 65.
I love everything. You know what I mean?
For a guy who's been in the game this long.
With the Giants firing Judge and letting Gettleman retire or force him to retire, I love everything that my teams are all doing right now. And I can't say that. I couldn't have said that probably in the last decade, dude. More. You know, there was always not where all of them were doing the right thing.
Right.
Like they're all of my teams are doing the right thing. The Rangers are just on a freaking steamroll collision with greatness.
Yeah, like I'm like, you know, I watch them and like sometimes it's like you
know, they need to though, because they have like you got some guys that like Kreider's a little older, right?
You know what's funny? I got to say this.
Panarin's a little on. He's on the plus side of 30.
Yes, but I forgot. Well, like there was a power play. I was watching the game and Kreider wins it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and they go Kreider, and I was like, "I went."
Well, he leads the league with those chips.
Yeah, but I stopped for a second. I was like, man, I forgot he was still on the team. I thought I thought there was
they extended him last year,
right? Because I know that, but I mean, it was like
2 years
when reading that is one thing, but in my head, I was like, oh, he's gone. Like I don't know why.
Right,
I just thought he was gone because
he's what is he, 32, and he's having the best year of his career.
Yeah.
Leads. I mean, he's having a monster season.
But these are all. He's a veteran now because when they signed him, when they drafted him and signed him, he came right out of college and went into the playoffs.
The problem is they expected him to be like the next Lindros, the next Yager.
But he's a Ranger stud more than he is.
But I'm saying you're putting pressure on a guy to be because he's big, because he could skate, he had good hands. You're putting pressure on.
Well, that's why they let Hagelin go.
And you can't like Kreider. I always loved Kreider. Did he underachieve? Yes. But was he ever bad? No. He was always good. His teams went to the playoffs. With the right pieces, they won. He won a lot. He has a lot more wins as a player than than losses. And the Rangers have done amazing in the rebuild process and still. Like the Yankees. The Rangers are like the Yankees in the sense where they completely rebuilt their roster and they did it while they were okay. Like 2 years ago, they sucked. They were awful. Last year, they were bad.
Right, but a good draft. I always say Keiko Kako.
They had 2 good drafts.
Two drafts back to back.
They were bad for 2 years. They were really bad for 3 years. But
they had wasn't the number 2 pick with Kako.
They got number 1 and number 2 back to back. They got Kako was the number 2 pick, and then they got Lafreniere last year. So, Lafreniere 2 years ago.
Lafreniere
Kako's
2
third
years
year.
ago.
Right. So Kako's picking up a little bit. People are complaining. Leave the kid alone. He's 23 years old. Lafreniere's really playing well. Heedle's not playing well, but there's guys that aren't playing well, but they're as a team are playing really, 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 really well together, and they're beating good teams. They're beating like teams that come in and like, the Rangers are gonna have a tough time. It's not really, they're playing really good hockey right now. So the Knicks, they're playing really good basketball the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, look, they've been playing inconsistent because one of the reasons is Randall, in all the stardom that he was giving, was not playing like the star that he was.
He's not a star. He's not a superstar.
But he was.
Once they realize that, stop giving him the ball. He doesn't need to hold the ball 80% of the time.
So here's the thing.
Now
here's the other
see
problem.
what happens. Now R.J. Barrett's controlling the ball.
Yes, but here's the thing. Like, as the numbers are increasing, and I don't know that getting Cam Reddish is going to change things, because they got
the trade today. That's
right. Obi's going to go out there and do his thing, right?
Right.
So even though we have smaller centers, I need Obin.
Well, I don't think the Knicks are done. If they made that trade, they're not done.
So look,
but
if you put Barrett at the 1, and let's say Reddish at the 2, right? And Reddish is tall. I think he's 6'8".
Yeah, he's big.
So let's say you put.
Well, they say he's like a Paul George.
Let's say you put Barrett at the 1. Let's say you're just running the system. It's the third quarter, and you want to make a run. Barrett at the 1, Reddish at the 2. You're going with Obi, Randall, and any of your centers.
Right.
You're rotating your centers, Mitchell Robinson, whoever, and you're just putting the bodies out there. He's a big fan of Gibson. So if you rotate those guys out there, I think the big team, I don't know that they're more athletic, but I think that they all can do something.
Make it have fun. Make the playoffs. Make the players have fun. They're not going to win anything, but have fun.
But I mean,
they can turn
people. They can turn it up. I feel like that roster.
They can run and get younger. Listen. I like
Kemba Walker.
I always thought Kemba Walker. He's gone. I like Kevin Knox. I thought Kevin Knox was a nice little piece. He must not do something the way that they expect him to do, because it's 2 coaches that buried him. All right.
Yeah, man.
3 actually. He doesn't play, and it's because there's a reason he don't play. And the guy could shoot. He does. So there's a reason why he was in the doghouse on the Knicks bench, buried for years.
Well,
and it's the same thing for years. Knox.
Knox.
Kevin Knox.
Yeah.
So now you have a guy, Cam Reddish, who's been buried on for 2 years, been buried on the Atlanta bench. So now you
I don't
have...
know that he's played, listen.
He's been buried on the bench.
He's played more than 60% of his team's games. You know, more, maybe even in like the 70% window. Knox hasn't done anything. And he's a 6'9", like you said, like he's a 6'9" small forward. Even at one point, I remember they were saying, could he play two guard? Could he be a 6'9" two guard? Because kind of like Novak. Remember Novak?
Yep.
All he did in the wing. And I was listening to an Iman Shumpert interview.
Can shoot though, man.
But an Iman Shumpert interview, and he was like, he was talking about when they broke up that team, when they brought, you know, how they, like, he was like, why would you do that? He goes, you had Novak in the wing, and he was butter, like he was everything. Why would you let him go?
Yeah.
He goes, you want to win? You had Melo doing this, you had Shumpert doing this. So here you have Knox, and we don't even know if he was any good. We just know that he wasn't playing.
Play.
We just know that he wasn't playing.
It's hard to see if he was good if he didn't
Cam
play.
Reddish has consistently been okay. He's been okay. He averages 10 points a game. He averages 3 points a game, a couple of assists. I think, or an assist.
Well, I
or
think
two.
Atlanta, you know what it is? I think Atlanta's kind of loaded with young star talent. And, you know, it's easy to get buried if you're not in favor. You know what I mean? So, listen, this is a Duke reunion that might help.
Would they bring in Zion?
I don't know.
Yeah, but Zion is
Maybe.
Zion. Look.
If he has a couple more po' boys, they might get him for free.
Well, they got look. Remember Jim the trade of
Send him a treadmill.
Do you remember the trade for Jim Fregosi? Do you remember the story about the trade for Jim Fregosi?
No.
So Jim Fregosi was like, it was a talented ball player when they made that trade. The Mets made the trade to get him.
I only remember him as a manager.
So when they made the trade for him, and he was a guy with like high promise, decent ball player. But when they brought him into New York, the beat writers have this joke where they were like, his gameplay never matched his waistline, expanding his expanding waistline. Because New York City was like food and entertainment and drink all the time. And it was like if his game just matched that, his game would be huge. Except he got huge.
Zion's fat, bro.
And so, but coming to New York is not going to be better. You know, like if it was Indiana or Kentucky or Minnesota, where there's nothing to do.
He needs to, he got all that money, listen to a freaking nutritionist, and stop eating everything in front of you. It's that simple.
You see it like
it's really that he's a professional athlete, bro. We're not talking about a dude.
Yeah, but there are guys.
We're not talking about a regular guy 9 to 5 who may not have time to eat dinner, has to eat fast food.
No, but there are guys like that just get huge because they stop working out, man.
Because he eats whatever he wants.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Zion got fat because there was no basketball because of COVID, and he got hurt, and he was eating Entenmann's cake on his couch on his very expensive.
He was probably eating pizza. What I'm just saying,
whatever.
But he wasn't working out.
He ain't eating pizza in
there's
freaking New Orleans.
There's a long list of.
He's eating po' boys.
Okay, but there's a long
on
list
extra
of athletes.
butter bread.
There's a long list of athletes that had happened to them. Even while they were playing, they got bigger and bigger and bigger.
I wish I knew like some really disgusting, fattening Louisiana delicacies that we could just yell out right now, because he's eating all them shits. I'm telling you, he's eating every one of them.
Okay. I'm not saying he isn't.
He's going out, he's drinking, he's eating, he's
like
everything.
I don't know if Louisiana is an 18 and over drinking.
And they're like, Zion, come on in. Oh my God, come on, you got to try this new dish I made, Zion.
I wish you knew how to do a Cajun accent.
I will try. Oh, I can do a Cajun. No, I can. Cajun. I can do Cajun.
Yeah,
I can.
You can do a.
I gotta think.
You can do a po' boy.
If I po' boy.
Nah, you can do that, son.
No,
you can do that.
That's
that Cajun.
No,
that's that Cajun.
You sound South African.
No, I didn't. I don't. South
like,
African.
You
don't know your accents or your dialects.
You sound like you're from the Expanse, like you're a belter.
Yeah, pay attention to it.
Take it easy with that.
You pull up the accent.
You are belter. What? You are belter? Stop it.
You can't do it. So don't worry about it. Nobody's gonna hold it against you.
Do what?
It's po' boy. Do it. Try.
A Cajun accent?
Yeah.
I gotta think about it. And hear
No.
accent.
Think about it. No. Because you said you can do it.
I can.
And
do
you
it.
said
I
mine
do
all
any,
of a sudden was something else.
I could do any accent there that known to man. I'm telling you, I could imitate any accent. Any.
So then do for shits and giggles, do a French accent. For shits and giggles.
Give me something to say.
Say, how are you?
Michael, what would you like me to say? Tell me, Michael. Tell me.
Sorry.
Tell me.
Sorry, this session is over.
What would you like me to say?
Do you think that's a French accent?
I know it is a French accent.
Which one is it?
I know.
Is he a mute French?
I know because
That's African.
I am friends.
That's an African accent.
African. That was French.
That is not French. I don't know what French you got.
I did not say Michael.
Can you say anything in French? Can you speak in French?
What would you like me to say? That's African.
That was the same thing.
No, it wasn't.
Oh my God.
Michael.
Oh my God.
What would you like?
Oh my God. All right, I want you to say this.
What?
Comment allez-vous?
You poo.
Comment allez-vous?
Comment tel poupou?
C'est bien.
Fougadi.
Ah, c'est bullshit. You talk the bullshit. You have no French accent. None. Zero.
No,
Zero.
I don't have
Zero.
a French accent.
You don't. You
If
did.
I hear it, I can imitate
No,
it.
you could.
Yes, I could.
You like
if I hear it,
you just gave me a Nigerian
I'm
accent.
not listening to you.
And you didn't
make an
even know
accent.
do
If
it.
I heard it, I can imitate anybody.
So do
Put
you
it this way: I can imitate. I'm a good imitator. I'm not a good actor. I am.
Okay, fantastic. And it's great to hear.
I'm like
Give me an Australian accent.
Australian's easy. I'm not. Australian's easy.
I like it because it's easy. You go like, it's easy. I don't want to do it.
It's so easy.
I can't.
It's so easy. I don't want to do it.
It's so easy. I don't want to do it.
No, come on, mate. All right, mate.
Oh, see,
I
that's.
got-
that comes so generic. Goodbye.
Hey,
Get out.
I could do Italian too. Spaghetti meatballs.
Yeah, I could do Brooklyn.
Spaghetti
That's my
meatballs.
accent. I could do Staten Island.
I do Puerto Rican.
Brooklyn.
I do
New
Puerto Rican.
Jersey. I can do
Arroz con
Queens.
pollo.
I can do New Yorican. I got it all
I
covered.
could do Jewish. I could bagels and lox.
Hey, I could do this. Oh my God.
Australia. Listen, I'm telling you right now. If I have a sample of hearing something, I can destroy an accent. 100%.
I'll tell you what.
I could do an Irish accent. I could do a British
Oh,
accent.
your Irish accent is awful.
No, it's not, dude.
It's awful.
Okay,
It's awful.
dude. No, it's not.
Okay.
You've never heard my Irish
You
accent.
did on this show.
Yeah,
you
but
could go back
I'm not going to take
and
anything
hear
I
it.
say on this show. If I hear an accent, I'm rocking it. Trust me when I tell you.
Okay.
I'll sell it more than you would any day of the week.
You want to put money on that?
100%.
I'll put money on it.
Let's do it.
So a $20 bet on it.
All right, let's do it.
And we come in when we'll do accents.
Let's do it.
And we'll
And
see.
we'll have judges judge.
Yeah, we have judges judge.
Let's do it.
Rock that shit.
Let's do it.
I'll let you practice whatever you
I
want to
don't
practice.
need to practice. All I need is sample size.
Yeah, you don't need sample. Like
I
you
need
need to
samples.
practice.
I got to hear it.
You should practice.
No, I'm going to practice.
Yeah.
Practice busting your ass, mate. I'm going to fuck you all over the place.
Oh, that's Moroccan French. That was awful. I mean, sorry, that was.
I'm going to beat your ass all over
yeah,
the place.
What I want to say is that was great. Oh my God.
Once I come back, I go to cut you up all over the place.
All right.
Awful. That's awful.
That is the worst shit. That is so bad. Oh. It's so bad it leaves me so.
What is so bad? Tell me what part is so bad. What do you want to hear? You want to hear Australian? I might. What? Tell me, mate. Tell me what part's bothering you.
Yo, all of a sudden, all I hear is Sean.
All right, mate.
Where-
Oh, because all you're doing is listening to the person talking. You're not listening to the accent. So
I don't
you,
even- what is
so
that
you
supposed to
can
be?
go fuck yourself. This is my Australian. You can go fuck yourself because you're all you're doing is you're listening to the person. You're not listening to the accent. All right. So fuck you, Michael.
See, nothing you said went, oh, that was Australian. Nothing.
Yeah, it was Australian.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, that's right.
No, it was a Crocodile Dundee.
I want you to believe
you know
that.
there are people in Melbourne that sound normal, not like Crocodile Dundee.
I just said like the
not
the
indigenous.
No. The thickest.
I said mate.
Why did you say koala?
I didn't say koala bear.
You should.
Koala bear.
They're not a bear, but it's a koala.
Bear.
It's not a bear.
It's a bear.
It's a bear. It's a
bear.
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 It's a bear. It's a bear.
You're a bear.
It's a koala. It's
You're
not
a
a
fucking
bear.
bear.
It's a bear, not a bear.
You're a bear.
This is great. I can't wait. I can't wait.
You're a deer.
You're a deer. I can't wait. Oh my God, you're a deer. I can't
You're
wait.
such a deer.
You're such a deer. I'm gonna take your money. I can't wait.
Fuck you, Michael. That's my Japanese. I will fuck you up. I kill you.
I'm not even gonna. I will go there, but I'm not gonna go there yet. I'm gonna save that weapon for the end.
Michael.
I had a samurai chop you.
I will kill you.
Yeah, it was awful.
I will beat you fast.
Oh no! Don't do that.
No.
Yo, that's a guy who sounds like it's a really bad constipation moment. I can't do it. No.
Michael, I will beat you at this oxygen.
All right, can we? I just drop it, and save it for. Save it for the day. Save it. No, don't do it. Don't do it ananymore. Don't do it.
Better not be.
Don't do it anymore.
You better not be a Jew.
Oh, don't do it anymore. Just leave. Stop.
I come for you, Michael.
Is this the lady that
9?
Is this the lady that ate Hansel and Gretel? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I was like,
Whatever
I
her
know what
name
you're
was.
going for. Yeah, whatever her name was. I know. You know that woman that listen to me play the woman who ate Hansel and Gretel.
That's my next character.
Oh man.
I'm the woman who played.
All right. So I brought this so that you can read it. It's the Rakim book, Sweat the Technique. You said when I finished it, I forgot to bring it the last couple times, especially when you weren't here. But
This book hasn't been read. I call bullshit. He didn't read it.
Okay. I bet you don't read it. I bet you don't read.
I bet you I don't. He didn't read it.
First off, I just bought it and I just read it. Okay. Second of all, you said, well, two things you said to me. One was, hey, as soon as I'm done, give it to you. You're gonna read it.
I say a lot of things I don't mean, Mike.
Yeah, and the second one was you said that when in
Sometimes
July,
if I'm saying, Mike, yo, that's cool. I want to read it too.
you don't really want to
Doesn't
read.
mean I want to fucking read it.
I know you. You're the guy that reads the article.
I'm just
and
making
or you
conversation.
read the top of it. You also
I
said.
bet you I read more books than you in my life.
I doubt that.
Wanna bet?
Doubt it. You probably read more articles in the newspaper than books than I
bet you
did.
any money I read more books than you.
Not even close. Stop it. Stop it.
Dude.
No. Stop it.
Is a comic book a book?
Nah, they don't count, my friend.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't
Why
count.
not? It's a fucking
Your graphic
book.
novel, right? You read
It's
a couple.
graphic novel.
You
Not graphic novel. Regular.
You read a couple of graphic novels, and you're like, they're a book.
A regular.
When you close it, it's square at the ends, right? It's a book.
No, not only comic books, but regular books.
Not only comic books.
I read a lot of regular books, dude.
You read a lot of comic books.
I read a lot of regular books.
You read a lot
More
of
than
comic
you,
books. No,
for
you
sure.
haven't. No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Imaginary
Plus-
fairy tales.
No, I read that too.
That is the only thing.
Imaginary Fairy Tales. That
That's
was a
the
good
name of the
book. Yeah, no, it's a good book. Cindy Simpson wrote that book.
Just the fact that you were like Cindy
was-
Cindy Crawford wrote this book, so I have to read it.
Simpson. Her name was Cindy Simpson. She wrote imaginary things and fucked up books. It was a good book.
Yeah. And the other thing you said was that if I went out and did stand up, that you were going to do it right after me.
When did I say that?
You said when I said in July I was going to do it, you said, "Yeah, I bet if when you do it, let me know, so I'm going to do it after
I
you."
don't remember saying that.
You did. You said it on air too, so I can go back to any one of those episodes where I find myself saying, "You know, I'm gonna in the next month I'm going to do stand up." You said,
All right, I'm pretty sure I might have said that, but I don't believe it. So I'm gonna want you to do the legwork. Go back and find
like, I don't want to say I
Go
did,
back and find it.
but if you can find it, maybe.
Just I want to make you do the work.
Yeah, because I don't want to look it up. I don't want to look for it.
I don't believe it. Just go find it for me.
It's such
You know what?
jerk off.
You know why I told you, because I always, since I was a kid, I always thought about doing it, and when I was in a talent show, and I was in 7th grade in St. Michael's in Flushing. Such a dick. See, this is why you're a bad friend.
I'm a supportive friend.
No,
the
you're a
fact
bad
that you
friend.
said this
I'm
is
still-
back when I was in 7th grade talent show.
I
was expecting. Do you remember when I was 25? I was ready to do stand
I'm
up.
pouring my heart out right now.
You
dude.
ain't pouring shit.
Just-
Pour another drink.
Just listen, man.
Pour another drink.
Let
Shut
me
up.
finish my story. God laughs at me.
Yeah.
You're such a bad friend. So we had a talent show at St. Michael's, right? You're such a dude. Come on, dude. Don't
I'm
be-
sorry.
So,
Man,
and no, I have a lot of friends that will verify this. So I did stand-up comedy in my talent show. So I think I might have told this, but I basically ripped off somebody's routine because I was like 11 years old. So, and I did it, and I got a standing ovation. And that, when I'm watching the crowd go, oh my God, and I'm looking at my teacher, and she, what
Your 7th grade class is like, oh my
I
God.
swear to God, I got a standing ovation, dude. The balcony and the ring.
We
had
had
a
oh my
balcony-
God or this.
Boom. Everybody was like, oh my God, that was so funny. That's how I remember it.
So, I mean, yeah, clearly that's enough for you to go.
That's how I remember it. So,
You know, a lot of athletes remember shit differently than what happened, right?
apparently,
Even the guy's joke that he ripped off.
Yeah,
was
he was
there,
like, hey, yeah, wait a minute. That was mine. That was,
I totally ripped the whole routine, that joke. You want to know the routine? I swear to God, I'm not even lying. So I came out and I was pretending I was Dr. Ruth. You remember Dr. Ruth?
yeah, I remember that. She's still
So-
alive, by the way.
She's still alive. So I walked out. I came out on my knees. Yo, and it took me like, it was awkward, like 15 seconds to get to the microphone. And I'm walking on my knees because Dr. Ruth is short.
Yeah, she was tiny.
So I go,
This is Dr. Ruth Westheimer, and we are celebrity speaking. Hello, and tell me your name and where you're calling from.
she used to do a show called Sexually Speaking.
Yes,
That was the name of the show.
yes.
I called it,
Celebrity speaking.
I robbed this guy's whole thing.
Our first guest is John Rambo.
Oh, no.
Rocky Balboa.
So now I turn around and I stand up and I got like, I don't even know what I did. I bought a prop out and I'm like, hey, yo, Root. Hey, yo, Root. And I do the whole freaking Rocky thing. And I'm just making a complete ass of myself. Second caller,
Okay, who's the second caller?
Michael Jackson. And I have somebody in the back play beat it and I do the whole dance. And I'm like, Dr. Ruth. I do the whole shit. Bro, it was so stupid. And I got a standing ovation. I'm not even lying to you. I'm not even making this up right now. That's a true story. My teacher, I had a crush on her and she was like, Miss Lapoli, she was hot. Oh my God, that was so funny. Never forget her face. So ever since then, I want to do stand up.
Yeah, I know. 40 years later,
40 years later.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you know.
You
no.
said, hey, you do it, I'm going to do it.
I did not, did I?
Yeah, word for the word.
It's kind of hard though. You can't find the spots to do it. You know?
I could find you a spot. I got plenty of spots
I-
now.
No, I heard it was really hard to go to book a spot.
No, I could get you on an open mic. You could follow me.
COVID. I'm scared.
Yeah, no. It's wide open. It's outdoors. It's like it's a little cold. There's a nice little setup.
Yeah,
you have
I don't like
space.
I don't like the cold.
We'll go I'll go and then you'll go right after
It's
me.
too cold.
You go right
I gotta
after
be
me.
inside.
Okay, so then we'll go do one inside. It's very spacious. Very spacious.
They got what kind of air ventilation system?
High ventilation.
Big time.
Big time ventilation. I
Everybody-
go and you go right after me.
Can I get a microphone with a condom on it?
You could get a microphone and a condom and a few beers.
I don't want nobody's breath on the microphone.
And you could do some acid
Is
before.
everybody wearing a mask?
Everyone.
I want everybody wearing a mask.
Open mic is just other comics
And
too.
I want cards. I want everybody to show me their card.
Every open mic is just comics, so
If-
you have to do it
before
in
I
front
tell
of your
any-
peers.
Before I tell any
And
joke,
nobody's gonna find you funny because they're your peers.
before I tell one fucking joke, I want everybody to line up and like a cafeteria line, show me their card and walk
I
by
get
the
it.
stage.
The more you set restrictions on other people, the less you're gonna do it. I know how it goes.
Why we can't get that?
Like I
all-
want to play football, but I mean, it's like I got baseball, I
So
got
you-
basketball.
So you're telling me we can't get
I got
this done,
chess.
right?
Oh,
See, I
we're
kn-
gonna get it
see,
done.
I knew you'd flake.
We're gonna get it done. I'll even do an open. we could do a comedy show in Hatfields. Just do a show in Hatfields. I'm gonna set it up.
Marcy Rosen,
Yeah, I'm not. Well, Green. Yeah, she's gonna go in there.
Marcy Green.
Yeah,
They're-
they're gonna do one in Bourbon.
Her name's Rosen, isn't it?
Who knows what the last
Yeah,
name
she's a Jew.
is? Is this supposed to be a joke?
No, I'm serious. She knows
God,
it. She knows.
She- I hope so. Hey, isn't her? Isn't she a Jew?
She's funny.
She knows it.
I love Marcy. Marcy's awesome. Didn't she get you like your spot?
Well,
Oh, she didn't.
that guy Steve
should
that I
hook
had
up
on.
with her, dude. You
The
should.
guy had Steve come on the show.
Oh, Panthelides or whatever that guy.
Yeah, he
Pan-
introduced me to a couple
I heard
things.
I heard he was good. Like a bunch of people told me that.
Well, some people, it's funny. Like even he said this on the show. Some people think he was a better rapper than he is a comedian.
I don't
Like
fuck-
Christian said,
I
came
feel
up
like
to
I
him.
know him, dude.
Christian came up to him and he was like, and I was pointing him out. And he was like, because he saw I posted one of the things that I did. And he was like, yeah, with Steve. He was like, yeah, he's a better rapper than he is comedian. And I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, he was talking about Marcy. He goes, yeah, she ain't funny. And I was like, He kept saying about both
Well,
of them.
she's a host. She doesn't have to be funny.
Well, yeah, she does. No, like the bourbon.
you know what I like about her?
They have to be funny.
Well,
the host has to be funny.
They do, but
Good hosts have to be
she's
funny.
really like direct, so she controls crowds. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
have to as a host.
but that's good. That's
You
why
have
she,
to as a
That's
host.
why. That's why she gets invited everywhere, bro. She goes to She just came back from LA. She goes all over the country because she's good at how she presents herself.
Look, you work with the right
She
people, they'll
gets up
just
there-
keep moving.
She gets up there like she's the tough New York chick. That's it. That's who she is, and she plays it well. I just saw it. I'm telling you, Mike. I see. Listen, when you're getting paid to fly to LA and you're coming home with
Well, what
more-
happens is you don't. Most of
But
them,
I'm just
they
saying,
don't
listen,
fly you out
whatever
there.
it is,
You fly in your
it's
own
covering-
dime.
it's
They
covering
pay
all
you
of
to
it.
be there.
covering
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they pay you to be there.
My point is, she wouldn't go if she wasn't making more money than what she's doing.
No, but it's also exposure. Like I could go to Chicago, sign up for one
well,
of those
that's
shows.
part of it too.
I could go to LA,
You
sign up
want
for
the
one of those shows.
exposure? That's my point.
Right, but I just started, so I don't have any over visions of all this.
Mike, I'm not talking about you.
No, I'm
It's
just
not-
saying.
it's
Well, when you
not
said about
all
traveling,
about you. Right now, we're talking about Marcy.
this show has my name on it. So yeah,
Right.
it is almost all
Not
about
all,
me.
not all. We weren't quite there. We were getting towards
Almost
you.
all of
We
it.
were getting towards you, and then you forced it.
Anyway,
And now I'm going to hold off because I don't even want to talk about you.
that's
for a little
okay.
bit.
You don't have
Give
to talk about me
Give me
anymore.
another 3-4
Well,
minutes.
I got you. Like I'm gonna find the 2 episodes where you said
I
it.
need 4 more minutes. No, you're not buying.
I'm gonna find those 2 episodes.
You're never going to find it. I never said
and then
that.
I'm gonna record it and then use it every time I'm gonna send you a message.
I think you use Photoshop.
How could I Photoshop your words, stupid?
Whatever.
You're gonna Photoshop my words.
Whatever the Photoshop for words is.
Voice record. You're gonna dub over.
See, I told you I was funny.
Yeah. Well, I put that on stage.
I'm hilarious.
Yo, I'm highlighted.
I am hilarious.
I am so funny. Look at me. I make people laugh.
I tell good.
I make myself laugh more than I make other people
I
laugh.
tell good stories. So all I got to do is get very high and then pretend like the crowd is my friends and I'm telling like my stupid
Yeah.
stories.
And you have to do it in 5 minutes.
Damn.
You have no shot at this, by the way.
Well,
5 minutes. All you got to do is in 5 minutes. You have no. It takes you 5 minutes to open up a beer and smoke some weed.
so you're saying it's
Yo,
gonna be,
as soon as you go up there,
it's gonna be a
by the-
challenge.
Yeah, you're a challenge.
I would have been like, "Hi guys,
Wait,
please light goes
lights
on."
on. All right, that's my time. I'm Sean Lynch,
As long as they left,
and I'm the funny motherfucker.
maybe I'm not gonna do it.
Well, you will. No, you won't. You won't do it.
I'll do it.
You have
Don't-
no.
Don't be telling me.
Oh
what
no,
I, can do
I
for
know
you.
that you won't do it only because you really don't want to do it. Your thing was probably like, let me see if you're gonna do it, and then when I did it, you were like, oh,
No, because
okay, you're. It's good that you're doing it. It's not me.
That's not completely true. When you told me you were doing it, I was very happy for you. But it was in your mind. It was never in my mind. And then when you did, I was like, you know what? I'll fucking do it.
No, what you said was, if you can do it,
I
I
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
Right.
Right. That's not saying like, hey, I
I
know
didn't
that
mean-
you can do it.
No, I didn't mean that. If you could do it, I could do it. I meant that if you have the balls to do it, then I have the balls to do it. I didn't mean if you could do it, meaning be good at it. I'm talking about if you have the balls to get on that stage and do that shit, then I have the balls to get on the stage. That's what I meant.
It ain't
Not-
easy. It
Not
ain't
like
easy.
not like if you could do it, I could do it. Like not,
If you can do, I can
anything
do.
you
I
can
can-
do.
I
Yeah,
can
no,
do
no,
better.
that's not what I meant.
I can do anything better than you.
That's not what I meant, Mike. You know, you fucking always.
That's it.
You're always so fucking.
Anyway,
You're always so worried about.
what do we got this? You see this nice
Sean, what are you
skull
gonna do?
bracelet?
Asshole. You gotta be
And there's
so
a lot of
big.
other bracelets like
You're
this.
the king of insults.
The king of insults, calling people stupid and weird and all those other things.
Hey,
Hey,
you curse too
If
much.
you know anybody, no, you don't curse too much. Today was my day. But if you wanna look for someone, you wanna get some jewelry for somebody, something, a necklace, chain, watches, or rings, a little bit of fashion, something to sparkle and light up your life. Maybe you know somebody who needs it. Check out this cool cracked ring right here for cracked souls and put you back together. This one, it's got a little skull bracelet over here. Does its things. a little
Bracelet's
heavy.
dope.
Bracelet's dope.
All the jewelry's dope.
And you'll check it out, undaunted.com.
Undaunted.
Undaunted, and you
.com.
see what you like. And when you go to check out, put Mike and Sean Show 2.0,
2.0.
get 20% off.
20%.
I mean, you can't ask for more. It's like 20% off.
Undaunted.com.
Undaunted.com.
Mike
They've
and
got
Sean
necklaces,
Show.
rings, watches, chains,
2.0.
everything. Mike and Sean Show 2.0. 20% off. That's
Get
for
your
sure.
discount, boys and ladies.
Boys and ladies, get it. Oh yeah,
Boys and ladies.
that's for sure.
Get your Mercedes. Get on.com. Undaunted to the ladies.
I
Sorry, it's not Migos good, but
I mean, it's not Migos good, but
What? Wow, my hair looks mad gray.
yeah.
I do gray.
How you doing, Gray?
Here's
How
gray.
you doing, G?
I'm
Gray?
growing my hair out. Mad gray.
How you doing, G? Gray?
I'm growing my hair out because my beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend has an amazing hair product. Her company is Wildflower Wellness. So for those of you that don't know, Trish started an all organic beauty supply kind of.
Ooh.
Basically, yeah, like super ooh. She does leave-in conditioner, chapsticks. She does a body butter. She does bath bombs.
Body butter.
She does body scrub. So, yeah, it's wildflowerwellness.com or go to Wildflower Wellness on all of your social media platforms. Yeah, man. It's really good shit, though. But my hair is, like, really difficult to deal with. So I just...
Personality, hair.
And, honestly, I get my hair cut every 2 weeks, right? And it's been like that religious for until COVID for 20-something years. So I'm like, after COVID, I went back cutting my hair all the time. And I'm like, well, let me just grow it out a little bit, see what it's like to grow my hair just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And I hate it because every time it grows like a vine. It grows up and it's very thick and and I'm grateful at my age to have thick hair. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of annoying where you can't control it. So Trish makes this, and all of her products are dandelion infused. So, dandelions are, super, super, super healthy and beneficial in many, many ways. And she created this leave-in conditioner. And I'm telling you, dude, and you're like a fashionista. You would love. I'm telling you, you would love the product for your hair. Trust me. It makes your hair feel like silky smooth. It makes my hair kind of like stay. It doesn't get crazy and overreact, and I can control it.
The idea that your hair would overreact on your head. You're like, hey, stay
All the
down. Your
time.
hair's like, no, I'm not staying down.
No,
Leave
that's
me
how my
alone.
hair is, yeah.
You're like, shh. Your hair's like, stop this. Short, I'm not going to fucking stop.
That's
Leave me alone.
exactly how my hair is, bro.
And then all of a sudden he comes, he puts
like,
the
no.
lotion, he puts the lotion in, because then he goes, all right. Oh, that was so good.
Oh my God, what is that? Dandelion?
Sean, are you using dandelions? And you're like, yeah. And you're in the car like this.
And
Going,
then
yeah.
I'm combing my hair back, and it's like,
And it's a commercial, and it's like,
Oh, it's
you
great.
too could use
yeah,
dandelions in your hair.
right. You want dandelion hair?
Dum, dum,
Wildflowerwellness.com.
dum, dum. Thanks, Sean.
I think Trish got a commercial.
Yeah.
It's either that or it's going to be a good anal commercial, like anal porn. You like butt sack?
Sure, that's not going to sell it. I'm sure of it. Sure that's not the thing to
Come
sell
on,
it.
you
with.
sold butt sex before. Tell me how it is.
I sold butt sex before?
You never sold it?
No, never had to.
You never sold it?
Sold butt sex.
Did it for free?
I never sold it.
That's why I love this show.
That's why.
The Mike and Sean shit show.
Yeah. No. See.
Sports.
No. What are you talking about? New York sports.
New York sports.
Sports.
The Mike and Sean shit show. We talk New York sports.
And that is how we will end it all. I mean, just the show. Just the episode.
Not
We'll
our
end it
lives.
with
Not our
dandelion ass rub.
I didn't even say that. You know what? She should come up with a hemorrhoid cream.
I don't like just something to make your butt smooth.
Hemorrhoid cream.
To make your butt smooth again.
At Wildflower
Make it smooth again. Massa. Stupid. It was so stupid. I didn't like.
Oh, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to our stupid show. And we love you all.
Misa.
Try not to get the colded.
Try not to get cold, did.
Don't get the cold.
Don't get cold, did.
Peace.